Hello, bonjour, ça va, and how are we today? It is Wednesday, February the 12th, 2025, here in southwestern Ontario, Canada, by the beautifully frozen shores of Lake Huron. Coming on today, I've been getting some mixed messages, various messages, not mixed from what the way you are thinking. It's just a number of things in the mix. I'll put it that way. That sounds a little bit more coherent there. The meditations are still very beautiful and high. There's so much love here on your world and on your planet. If you can just, or if you will, just tap into that expression of light. It's there. The essence is there. We're holding that frequency of light for you. All you have to do is tap into it willingly. I'm hearing appealingly. So appeal to your higher light. There are some news items out there about AI. So I was kind of thinking about that as I was watching some of these little tidbits of information on YouTube and Rumble here and there. The technology that is being presented to us is not of as high a value of light as our own light, as our own self. In other words, we have the ability, the organic ability to generate higher light within ourselves without the help of any technology. There are those who would like you to think or feel and act, betray yourselves, that you're not good enough, that you can't possibly do this connection with higher self, come back to source without the help of their technology. That is nonsense. It makes no sense. It's not really real. It's the same as those who perhaps have a little bit more of a shamanistic bent, who feel that you have to make your higher connections through drugs. None of that is real. You do not need that type of help. All right, there's injury done to the body, the soul, the spirit, when you engage in these impractical practices of energy. Our energy is bound to our higher light. We are light cell energy frequency bodies of light, as we've said for years now. We determine our own light. We don't need this other interference from other bodies of light. They would like nothing better than to own you, to control you, to take you down to their level, because they can't make it themselves. So they figure, well, nobody else can. Ego, lower self-talk in there. Oh, if I can't do it and I'm really like the best, then nobody else can do it. Okay, that's nonsense. That's nonsensical talk in their head. So be careful who you listen to. They're not always righter than you. That's how I'm hearing it. Not grammatically correct, I know. But in other words, they don't really know more than you do. Okay? There are many, this has been shown to me over the years, over and over and over again, no matter what area of life. There are channelers who channel specific people. They have beings, I should say. They have names. And it's like everybody thinks, well, that being is superior to a human being. Your highest frame of reference is your own genetic code. It has nothing to do with anybody else, speaking through anybody else or about anybody else. It's like when you do that, it's like you go to your best buddy, your best friend, and you say, well, tell me your rendition about, quantum physics. And they tell you their opinion or their thoughts. Maybe they are a quantum physicist and they can give you really good, awesome, correct information. Does that mean that you value your friend higher than yourself? Do you think or project or put that friend on a pedestal like, oh, I have to listen to every word you say and I'm going to do everything you tell me to do because you're so wise about quantum physics? Maybe they don't know anything about relationship. Maybe they don't know how to cook. Okay, maybe they're just kind of, got one specialty. Do you hand yourself over to your best buddy or friend to run your life for you, to think for you, to act for you, to talk for you? Our whole expression of higher light is coming through from our higher might. So this is our angelic light speaking through us today, because that is a higher dimensional, interdimensional cosmic awareness, consciousness speaking. It's our own vibrational thoughts in the higher realms. That is us. That is you. You all can tap into that energy. I'm hearing it as like a flux point. I don't even know. 3D me does not know what that means, but that's what I'm hearing. So in your quantum reality field, you don't give in to other beings telling you what to do. We're going to sound like a broken record, but you keep thinking you've got to hand yourself over to someone else. Someone else is superior to you. Someone else will have to tell you what to do because you just don't know yourself. Develop your capabilities, your abilities to think for yourself. But it takes work, doesn't it? So you can't be complacent. We heard years ago, complacency is like the worst thing ever because you don't act on your own behalf. You just sit back and let someone else do it for you. If you do that, and that is your choice, don't be upset by what's done to you next. Okay? So this is your gateway. This is your portal now in the time wave, in the thought structure of developing new time waves and new thought structures. Don't go back to being an automaton or a robot, or as some people are calling it, like a player character, PC, player character, or non-player character. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully you'll understand what that means. This is a time of peace, not war. So when we translate our light frequency, our vibrational thought waves into the higher dimensional realms of time, we can correlate that with the divine mind. Right? This is an aspect of your higher timeline. But if you keep choosing the lower aspects of the lower light, just because it seems easier, you've got somebody else telling you what to do, whether that's AI or your government or whomever, some channel of lower light, you're still caught in the trap. Right? It's a thought wave trap. You're being conditioned or reconditioned to an older way of being. It's not an enlightened way of being. It's not an enlightened state of being. I'm giving you this little warning here. Don't hand yourself, your autonomy, over to someone else in regards to anything. Okay? Think for yourself. Destroy the brainwashing techniques that are so plentiful on your planet. Get rid of the manipulation, the deceit, the lies, as we talked about last fall, I think it was. You have everything within your light cell energy body to condition yourself to the truth and the true way of being, which is source code energy. Or some would like to call it your God code. That's your frequency of light. You don't need others to try to tell you about how to do that for yourself. You already know within you. You have the language, you have the code, you have the encoding. You have it in your genetics, your DNA structures of light. That's where they reside. You just have to tap into them. Why don't you try that? It takes a conscious awareness. There are certain times and there's certain time periods when we awaken more groups of people, and that's what we're starting to do here on your world. These are the central sun beings now speaking. They see your aptitude. They see your reliance on others, on others' streams of thought. Start building your own repertoire of your own conscious awareness. Be your own being of thought. So I'm hearing to say, don't be distraught over what you've been taught. You can let that go, right? Your angelic frequency of light is very strong and powerful. It can override, it can overrule, it can overcome anything that's been done to you. Anything. Think about that. Let that sink in. Everything that's been done to you. The angelic frequency is so high and so light and so clear. It can erase anything that needs to be erased or deleted, forgiven, forgotten, however you want to put that into your language, your words. If someone says, I got this powerful drug, just take that and you'll be enlightened, don't fall for it. You don't need it. You can be enlightened all by yourself with the aid of the angelic realm. You ask for help from them. That is asking from yourself, because you have your own divinity line of time within you, within your genetics. You don't have to go outside of yourself. We keep saying this, but it's the truth, and we're going to keep saying it. So don't be fooled, don't be tricked, don't be manipulated. Strive for your own truth. Your channeling is done from within, of yourself. You don't need anybody else. It's lovely to be with other beings of thought, though, isn't it? We're social beings. We love to interact with each other. Makes us feel good. We feel happy. It raises our conscious awareness. We learn from each other. But we don't hand over our properties of light to another. You hold that within your own stream of light. So if you put other beings on a pedestal, oh, they know so much, they know this, they know that, I'm just dumb, I'm stupid, I don't know anything at all. I have to follow what they tell me because I can't think for myself. I don't want to think for myself. Try replacing those thoughts, those negative, down-putting thoughts, with the higher energetics of, I can live my life according to my own higher soul purpose of life. I can tune in and tap into that and hear that, get that, retrieve that information for myself. I set the intention. I open up my third eye, my pineal gland. I clear up my body stream. I fix my chakra alignment. I take care of everything in my life. I remove stress and strife. And I become a higher life. That's from your own willpower. It's from your own thought structures. It's from your own desires, your motivations from spirit. All of those little nudges and inspirations, your intuitive glances, they're there for a reason. They're helping you. They're guiding you. That's your guidance system, your higher guidance system of light, trying to reach through the density of third dimensional conscious awareness to have you start to create your own life with your own light. You don't need other refractoring light from other energy codes of light. You have your own. And that's what brings you home. So your technology is already within your strands of DNA. You have all the technology you need. It's organic, it's biological. You don't need the outward technology of others' thought waves interfering in your skull, because they penetrate that. They go right through it. And they teach you another alternate way of being. It's a controlling way of being. That's how they control you. It's how they teach you. It's how they tell you what to do. And if you just roll over and do it, you're just a little automaton. You're a little robot for them to manipulate and mess with. And mess with your head is exactly what they're doing. Don't allow it. You can say no. I'm not a party to this. I will not participate in this. AI can take you so far in helping you with mundane things like around the house or whatever. I remember when my mother washed clothes with a wringer washer down in the basement of the house. We didn't have a dryer. Nobody had a dryer. We had a big clothesline strung between the trees. And every family did that. And so on wash day, Mom, put the clothes and wrung them out. Always kept telling me, don't put your fingers in there, because that's something I would have done. What's in there? Don't put your fingers in there. She did that with the clothes. That's how she did the clothes. When she got an automatic washer, she was in heaven. Oh, I just put them in and the machine does it for me. And then one day we got a dryer. Oh my gosh, I can put everything in the dryer now. And little by little, you didn't see so many clothes in the neighborhood on the clothesline. That's an advancement in technology. That was a good thing from a mundane 3D perspective. That helped. That helped a lot. So it's not like all technology is not a help. But when it messes with your skull, when it messes with your head, with your mind, and it creates thought controls over you, you're in trouble. They're going to mess with you more if you allow it. So there are more issues to come for us to look at in regards to this timeline change. Others are going to be more organically driven and others less so. So they'll be the ones that are really into technology, robots, the future timeline of AI control, and then there are those of you who are going to field your light more into the organic way of being, of trusting yourself more and AI less. So as long as it doesn't, the AI and the technology doesn't interfere with your brain waves, with your thought waves, with conditioning of you to be, under the thumb of some other being or under the control of some technology. Okay, that's how you're going to have to make that decision yourself. In other words, make the choice. Which way do you want it? You're not going to be able to have it both ways on these timeline splits that are coming up, Because some will follow the wavelength of truth and others will diverge and go into a lesser way of being, a more autonomous. It's like, what's the word? Struggling for the word. Like automatic. Automated. That's it. You become more automated, like the assembly line for cars. It's all automation, right? Yeah. So in other words, robotized. What do you want? Make your choice. If you choose the higher way of being and the truthful, more honest way of being, that's one of transparency. There are no secrets. We've talked about this. There's no complacency. You work for your advancement in your higher light. You work to discover yourself, in other words. And it takes time because we're pulling ourselves out of the density of 3D and into the higher dimensional realms of light. There are times, and we've talked about this, where your higher spirit light will turn on that indicator that you're ready to come to your higher light, you're ready to wake up. If you ignore these, they're going to get more plentiful, is what I'm hearing. They will also sound an alarm. So you may feel more anxious in the beginning because you don't know what's happening to yourself. But then later it'll all make sense. So I was watching the beginning of one of these shows on Rumble, and they were, people running the show, the commentators were talking about how it's been really weird lately. They keep waking up around 4 a.m. and they don't understand it and they can't sleep at that time and so on and so forth. And there's a whole bunch of them. And yeah, is that happening to you? Yeah. Yes, to you. Yes, that's happening to me too. And they're going on and on about how odd and how strange this is. And this hasn't happened to them before. And I'm kind of chuckling because that is a sign they're waking up. That was one of the first things that I went through. And I remember speaking with other people who were going through the same thing. So it was like 20 years ago for me. And that's what it's like. And it's weird. But that's how it starts. You also see a lot of synchronicity with numbers, like 1111 and stuff like that. That's how it starts. They breadcrumb you in the beginning, and you kind of like, that's really weird. Why is that happening? In other words, spirit is trying to get your attention. It's time to wake up. Yeah, we're going to wake you up at 4 a.m. every morning. You get it? Are you starting to wake up? Are you starting to get it? There is something else going on here. It's not business as usual. You can't live your life the same old way that you used to do. You can't live in complacency anymore. And you're going to be pushed to the limit, and that's what it's like. Only from what I'm observing, your whole nation, your whole atmosphere of light is going to go through in a group experience rather than those of us who came, as forerunners, bulldozers of the higher light. We went through one by one. And looks to me, just from observing and watching and listening to people, that you're going to have massive groups of conscious awareness rising. I think that's amazing. I think that's a beautiful thing. But it's you doing the work. It's not some AI technology that's going to do that for you. AI technology can control you. You control you and nobody else, as you've heard us say before. So I'm hearing to say a little warning here. Be careful who you let in your open door. All right. Speak for yourself more. Okay. I'm not hearing any more. Okay. I think that's enough. Besides, I'm ready to go do my exercising in my living room. Yeah. So, blessings, everyone. Anything else? No. If you do wish to set up an appointment with us for your own private session, you can go to the website www.healingourenergy.ca and book your appointment there. I do offer long distance sessions. I know I don't talk about that often. People who know me already know this. That is where I send the energy long distance. We don't communicate. It's not a telephone call. It's not an audio video call. It's not an in-person session. It's where I do the work. When I'm done the work, I send an email. This is what happened during our session today. Okay, so if anybody is interested in that, I do offer that service as well. So I'm just hearing to say, to talk about that, because again, I don't talk about that at all usually. Okay, so blessings. Take care of yourselves and others. Have a wonderful day. We're supposed to be getting some big storm coming in here. It's tonight into tomorrow. We'll see. Time will tell. And it is winter. I mean, that's what happens in Canada in the winter. But we're in like the middle of February now. Not long now. Spring is coming next month. All right. We'll speak with you again. Bye for now.